Good evening. I want to get on here and kind of give you guys kind of an update on stuff for tomorrow, something to expect. So tomorrow, there's going to be lots of information coming at you. You're going to see it on the news. You're going to see it on the radio. It's going to be all over the place. And so tomorrow, something to think about is, can you trust the source? And so I think what we're going to try to do tomorrow is we're going to try to give you probably the most up to date information that we can get in life, as quick to as live as we possibly can. That way we can make sure the information's pure, and without bias. And so I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's been a journey to get here. And so I know a lot of us it's been a traumatic experience for a lot of us. And I'm sure a lot of us are looking forward to, getting through this process and figuring out what this process looks like. And, so for tomorrow, we're going to be meeting. I put in a map yesterday. So we'll be meeting there at 7:30 a.m. And so we'll go through security about 8 a.m. And so then we'll go up to the 13th floor. That's where the hearing's going to be held. And so the goal is to get as many people there as we can, so we can, make sure that, we get a spot. Hey, Eric, how you doing? And so, obviously we're going to show up early enough where we can get together. And so I just want to give you kind of a quick update. And, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know it's Sunday and a lot of people are preparing for the week, and just things to think about. There's a lot of stuff. So nothing's going to be finalized tomorrow. This is going to be just, another chapter in this saga. And most likely, we're either going to get good news or bad news, and this week. And so we don't know what that looks like, and we're hoping for the best, but we also have to realize the way everything is stacked against us. And so, there's a lot of forces out there that are in play that, obviously are not in our best interests. And so that's why, I'm really advocating if we can get people there that can be a part of this, to kind of help us, have a face there. And I think a lot of this is they don't expect us to show up, and because we're always busy, we're at work, stuff like that. And so when we show up, we kind of change the narrative. And so that's what this is about. This is about showing solidarity when it comes to our plaintiffs that are going to be testifying, and making sure that they know that we're there to support them, to make sure that, they don't feel like they're by themselves. And we're going to represent Oregon gun owners, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to remain positive, and until we get through this process, we're going to, come together. And so that's what it's about. So I'm hoping that I can get people there, that can be there to just, be a part of this process. And I know it's hard because, it's a Monday, and the last thing we want to do is go up into Portland, especially go to court. But, in this situation, I think it's something that's really, really necessary. And part of the thing is they're okay continue to take away and restrict because we never show up. And they feel that if we don't show up, that obviously if we don't show up, it's not enough, important enough to try to stop. And so all we're trying to do here is obviously be a face, and say no more. We've had enough of this. This is, I put I started putting my words together, what I want to talk about tomorrow when I'm here, when I'm there. And it's $50 million. That's just to start this process. And, this is not going to save lives from day one. This is just further overreach, and this is further restriction. And we're punishing the wrong people. You shouldn't be punishing you and I. We're not the ones committing these crimes, and we're not the one, we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we're compliant with all of this stuff. So, that's just another thing to think about. This is, this will never amount to anything. And so I'm hoping, awesome, Barry. I'm going to be leaving Eugene 5-ish. and I'll be on the road at 5, and I will hope to be there. I'm meeting someone in Portland, and then we're gonna rally together, and so I'm gonna be there at 7:30 or before 7:30. That's my goal. And so, obviously the more people there, everybody's welcome. And kind of my advice for tomorrow is, obviously business casual. We're going there. We're going into federal court. There's going to be metal detectors. There's going to be security. Make sure you bring your driver's license. Also, no blades. So be very, very careful because we're going to be going into a federal facility, and so also bring. I'm going to be taking notes. I'm going to have a legal pad. And I'm going to have a pen. I think it's really, really important is have our mindset ready for this. Okay, this is something where you're going to see people that are not our friends. You're going to see the other side. You're going to see the chief petitioners there, and it's really, really important we act appropriately. I know it's going to be really emotional. The media is probably going to be there. There's going to be reporters that are going to be up there. If you don't feel comfortable talking to the media, don't talk to the media. So something to think about is they're gonna try to bait you into questions. They're going to try to, they're gonna be wearing credentials. So look for credentials. They'll have something around their neck. But if you don't feel comfortable saying anything to the media, don't say anything to the media. I highly encourage that. And just be careful with what happens up there. We're all going to look out for one another. And hopefully this goes the way we need it to go. And so if we can just get through this process, understand, we're representing our neighbors, the people that can't be there. And so we have to represent well. And, that's the goal. I know it's a very emotional type subject, and I totally get it. And, I'm angry, I'm hurt, and I'm upset, but I have to put on the professional, I have to be the professional like all of us have to. And so that's the thing. And so, just something to be aware there. And I don't know if people are watching this because I'm not getting any comments or anything like that. So obviously that's what gets this stuff to go out, is when people like thumbs up and hi and talk and stuff like that, because that's how we use these algorithms to reach more people. And so that's kind of the goal. And so once we get there, we're going to go up there. I'm hoping that we can get in front of, hey, Philip, I hope you're doing well, man. I saw your post today, so I hope you're doing good. Thinking about you. And so, I think it's just really, really important as we get there early enough where we can get in front of these people, and we make sure that we're going to be at the front of the room. The room's relatively small. I think we had about maybe 50 last time we were there, and there is an overflow. And so there is an overflow downstairs. I'm going to try for us to get there early enough where, we're going to be in front of them. They can go sit in the overflow. We're not going to sit in the overflow. That's our goal. So we're going to have to get up in front of the door, make sure that nobody gets in front of us. And as soon as they open those doors, that's where we're going to go get a seat. And, we're going to have to turn off our cell phones. We're going into the courtroom because they don't allow cell phones. And it's just something to think about, and so many of you guys having, do I have 50 for tomorrow? No, probably not. It is what it is. If I can get anybody, I guess it's better than me going up there. I know we're going to have a couple plaintiffs up there. There's going to be some of our attorneys are going to be there. I mean, there's going to be some of us there. I don't know how many to anticipate. Obviously, this is not going to be the most fun. I mean, this is going to be us sitting there listening, and so it just is. It's part of this process, right? So, the best case scenario, we beat this in court. Worst case scenario, it goes to appeal. So those were our options. So no matter what happens this week, though, Measure 114 is not going to go into effect, and so this federal court judge does not have the authority to overrule what's happening in Harney County. And so that's a benefit. And so no matter what happens, we're still going to be okay. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Phil. Take care of yourself. And so that's kind of something to think about is, this is going to just be part of the process. And it's just a chapter. And I don't think it's the final chapter. I think in reality, worst case scenario, this will go to appeal. I mean, either way, it's going to an appeal. It's either we win and they're going to appeal, or they win and then we're going to appeal. And so either way, I mean, that's just the way the cookie's going to crumble. And, so yeah, no problem, Josh. I mean, it's not everybody can be there, and I totally get it. And I'm thankful to have anybody that can show up, and just because it makes it look like we care, and we care enough that we took the time off of work to be there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to, Barry. I'm looking forward to getting through July. I'm looking forward to this session dying. I'm looking forward to getting through this court so I can have a little bit of time to breathe. It's been a long year, and it's been a long year for all of us. And I think a lot of it is because there's so much uncertainty. There's so much up in the air and nobody knows anything. And I think that's what's led to the tension when it comes to what's happening is we don't know where we stand. And I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling of not knowing what this looks like when it comes to the next step. And I guess the only thing that I feel really look forward to is the fact that the state of Oregon does not have a permit to purchase process ready to go. And I feel good about the fact that we still have a TRO in place. So I guess if I was gonna have some positive thoughts about tomorrow, those are the things that I'm going to focus on, is the fact that no matter what happens here, we're still going to have a TRO in effect. And so, that's kind of the best thing that we can focus on right now, is just little bits and pieces, and hopefully we can string them together where we can get a victory. And so for tomorrow, the victory is going to be us showing up. It's going to be us, when they open up those elevator doors and we're already there in position, and they're going to go, dang it. That's what I'm looking for. And so, that's something to think about. I'm looking forward to the shock and awe there, where they thought that they were going to pull one over on us and lie, cheat, and steal to take away our rights, and we're going to beat them in court. And it might not happen this week, but we will beat them in court. And my only concern is how much it's going to cost. So that's something we have to be mindful of, because obviously the state of Oregon is already over 1.5 million, most likely, in defense of the indefensible, right? And we're hanging on by a thread, and so that's the thing that we have to, the Constitution, that's the law of the land, and so the Second Amendment is absolute, and the Oregon State Constitution, Article 1, Section 27, that means something. And that's, both of those have not been taken into consideration throughout this process. And so, it's time for us to unite behind our plaintiffs, and let them know that they're not alone in this situation. A lot of them, they put their livelihood on the line. And so they took a huge gamble, but they took a gamble because they believe in all of us, right? And they believe in their right to keep and bear arms. And yeah, absolutely. The Oregon State Constitution is very specific, and we have the right and the duty to keep and bear arms to protect ourselves and the state. And I don't know how much clearer it can be. And I feel that they want to kind of edit that out of our Oregon Constitution. That's why, the next election cycle is going to be super important, right? Is we have to make sure that we have people that can to fill those gaps. No matter what happens, and with the legislator, so that's kind of where I'm at. So I don't want to take too much of your time, but that what we're going to do is we're going to meet at 7:30, and I put a map, the 7:30, and there's a green star, or actually an orange star, which is right across from the Mark Hatfield courthouse there. It's right by the park. That's where the mostly peaceful protests were during the Summer of Love. It's in that park. That park burned for 180 days. And it's kind of symbolic that we're going to be there to help, take our rights back. And so we're going to meet there. There's a certain way we have to get into the building. We'll get into the building about 8 a.m. when they open up. We'll go through security. We'll go through security together. And then we'll get to the elevators, and we'll go up the elevators to the 13th floor. And that's where the trial is going to be held. And so I'm hoping that we get there early enough that we beat the other side. And that's kind of our mantra. Our theme for all the stuff that we've been doing is we're going to outwork the other side. And so the other side relies on what's called astroturfing. So astroturfing is when they pay their supporters to be there. We're grassroots. So we show up because it's something that's important to us, it's something that matters to us. That's why we're there. And we're there to represent our neighbors. We're there to help support our plaintiffs and hopefully send a message that no, we're not going to play this game. And so, that's kind of where I'm at. And I just want to get on here, give you that update and just kind of touch base. And if you guys had any questions about what tomorrow looks like, I'm going to try to update you as best I can. There will be a live stream link to watch as soon as I get it. I'm going to do a post in the morning when we get there. And so you guys can just hit a follow on that post, and we'll put everything inside of that post. And, hopefully, we'll have good turnout tomorrow. And if we don't, then it is what it is. No matter what, whether we have people or not there, it's not going to change the outcome. Obviously, we would love to have supporters there, but at the end of the day, it's going to be up to our attorney. Our attorneys, excuse me. It's going to be up to our plaintiffs, and it's going to be up to that judge. So, us going there, it's a token gesture, really. It's what it is, but it's something that we have to do because they don't expect us to do it. They expect us to just, wait for the bad news, and they expect us to just accept our fates, and we're not going to accept our fates. We're going to stand up together, and we're going to win. And I don't know how long this is going to take, but that's our goal, is to win, no more. I was thinking about today as I was writing a post. I'm writing a post for tomorrow, and I was thinking about this last year, and I was reflecting on all the stuff that I did with this thing, this Measure 114. And, one thing that I did, like one small victory that I want to celebrate with you, is the fact this is the first year that we haven't had any new gun control. And so what I mean by that is the fact that the legislature being out of session right now because of what the senators are doing, that's stalled any kind of gun control, right? Also, what's happening being tied up in court with the TRO, that's also preventing this Measure 114 from going into place. So this is actually the first time in a couple of years. It's been a brutal year for sure, but it's the fact that we haven't had any new form of restriction, which is good. It's something that it was not not the way I would advise that we try to get no new restrictions, but it's something that we did get. And so, that's something that we can celebrate there. I mean, last year we had Senate Bill 554, which, took away our preemption law, which really made our schools vulnerable, municipalities vulnerable. And also it required secure storage of guns inside of our home, right? Or if they're not on our person, so that was pretty extreme last year. And, the year before that, there was more concealed carry bill junk. And so it's been a couple years. It's been a couple years. We had like 2017. That's when the governor said that we had to have a FFL transfer for any private sales. So there's things leading up to this. Actually, I guess 2019 we didn't have anything go through that year. So maybe I misspoke. I'm just trying to think about all the years, and it seems like we haven't had a stop in a couple of years. And so, something to look forward to. So, other than that, I'm going to get off here. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but for all the ones that are going to show up, I plan on seeing you guys at 7:30. We'll get in there and we'll be together, and we'll just go up there and be a part of this process. And obviously, I want to give a shout out to a couple of the plaintiffs, right? So, Adam Johnson with Coat of Arms, he's going to be there tomorrow morning. He's second or third testifying. We also have Cody Bowen. He's Union County Sheriff. And so, that's, we want to say thank you to them for them putting them all on the line. Also, Leonard Williamson, he's going to be our attorney tomorrow. He's in this group, and give him some love tomorrow, because and some thoughts and some prayers for him, because he's got a difficult job tomorrow. And so, it's just, we're gonna see this through. That's the goal, is to see this through, no matter what it looks like. We're gonna be together, and I'm hoping that we get the news that we need. But if we don't, it's gonna go to a next court. And so, that's kind of where we're at. And so, say a prayer tomorrow. Court's gonna start at 9 a.m. And so I'll have the link in here for the live stream, so you guys can listen or watch. And I'll try to keep you guys as updated as I can. I'm not going to have access to my phone, so it's going to be really, really challenging. Probably plan on either an update at noon when we have break for lunch, and probably one after trial tomorrow when I get to my hotel room. I got to get to a place where I can feel where I'm put my guard down for a minute and do some video work here, so I can let you guys know. So other than that, I mean, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? How do you feel? If I was going to be honest, I would say that I'm scared. I'm scared. I think I'm scared about the unknown, and I just look forward to just putting this behind us. I don't know what that looks like, but at least giving us some time where we can get through this checkpoint and have some time that we're going to focus on the Harney County, which is coming up in September. So we'll have some time there. Obviously, once again, the state of Oregon doesn't have the program ready to go, but the problem with Measure 114 is the severability clause. And so even if the permit to purchase process is kicked out, right, we're still could get stuck with the magazine capacity ban. And so that's where I think it's going to be really, really important. We're waiting on that ruling out of California. I know there's a lot of states around the country that are waiting for that ruling to come out, and it can't come soon enough. And so, yeah, thank you, Ginger. I hope all is well. Absolutely. The Constitution give all of us strength, right? Because the Constitution is what restrains the government, right? And so our founding fathers were brilliant people, even because they escaped tyranny. They knew what tyranny was, and they tried to protect us. And freedom is one generation away, and we can only continue to be free if we allow it to be. And so that's why we have to change up what's going on. And so probably not going to have any answer tomorrow, Philip. We're probably not going to know anything tomorrow, just because this is it's scheduled for Friday. That's how long they're supposed to say it's supposed to take. And I'm hoping that that's not the case. Obviously I have things that I still need to do, and I really don't want to be in Portland all week, but I'll be there because it's important to me to be there, and it's important for you guys. And so that's why I'll be there. But I'm looking forward to a little bit of a break, to be honest with you. This is a really great comment. I think it's because we've forgotten history, because we don't teach history anymore. We've tried to revise history. We've tried to demonize our founding fathers because of certain aspects of the founding of this country. And obviously it was a brutal, bloody, and there's things that that are not the most becoming of Americans today, but it's not something that we should forget. And so there's mistakes that were made along the way, and we're not a perfect nation, but we're better than every country in the world. And there's no country in the world that will ever match the United States of America. And so, yeah, outside money for sure. Special interests. There's good and evil in the situation, and so it continues to affect every part of our society, right? Politics, the courts, the lobbying, the special interests. It's now in our schools. So there's so much that goes. Oh, for sure. So I think the biggest thing to realize is more, if we're parents or grandparents, is don't forget history and teach history to our kids. That's the history that we teach is something that they're not going to get in school. And so, we're literally one generation away from losing our Second Amendment rights, literally one generation away. And so that's why I think it's so important. That's why, what I do when I'm working with the kids, that's what drives me, because I know that this is our fight. Literally, we are the last bastion of freedom here. And if we do not hold this line, there's gonna be nothing left for our kids. And they're going to be okay with that because of the way the media makes them feel, and the media tells them that they have to feel this way. And free, free thought is something that really should be celebrated. And so if you have a child that's challenging and likes to give you grief, encourage that, because ultimately they're going to challenge authority in this situation. And we need more people that are going to wake up and be able to identify the facts from all the propaganda. And so, that's what's super important here is making sure. Yeah, maybe sooner. I mean, literally, I feel that, my generation, Kyle, which I don't know if he's in here or not, Kyle Meter, he's a younger cat. Have a lot of respect for him. He gives me a lot of hope for that next generation. And we need more just like him that are engaged and trying to do the good work that we need to do. So it comes down, we got to come together, right? And we have to understand that there's difference of opinions in this situation. Everybody's got an idea. Some are valid, some are great, and some we need to just kind of get behind ones that are viable, right? And I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but I feel like I have a pretty good pulse of what's happening, and try to shoot you guys straight, and so that you guys can trust the information that you get from me. I think that's been the greatest thing that I've figured out through this year of this journey that I've been on is I've found my voice. I found my voice, and so my voice is able to help others and empower others and give people hope. So I'm not done, and we're not done, and so we still got work to go, and we just got to show up. That's all it takes. So, but other than that, be proud of everything you guys have done. Be proud of the testimony, the emails that you send, the phone calls. Like, be proud of all that stuff, because like you guys have been engaged, and so that's huge. And we just got to keep going. So other than that, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna be up at 4. I'm gonna be on the road, and I will see whoever's gonna be there at 7:30 ish. I'll probably be there before 7:30, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. I look forward to keeping you guys updated with the best up to date information that I can get. That's the truth, and hopefully we have good news. Hopefully this goes the way we need it to go, because we've got a lot riding on it. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to be a criminal. And so, yeah, Barry, I'll see you tomorrow. Other than that, I'm going to get off here, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and pray. So I know I'm going to. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Thank you.